Hey everyone, welcome back and thanks as always for tuning in. In today's video we're going to take a look at one of my Blade Show acquisitions, and that is the Liong Mah Warrior 2. So as usual, specs, overall impressions and details, and let's start out with what it ships with here, which is the Liong Mah branded pouch. So definitely not my first Liong Mah, and these are made by Riot Knives, and it's definitely not my first Riot knife either. So some things you're very familiar with on my channel. When these two come together, I always like the outcome. So I handled this one at Blade, blew me away. I think this is probably my favorite Liong Mah Riot collaboration to date. So we're looking at the Warrior 2 here. Spec-wise, blade length of 3.75 inches, handle length of about 4.73 inches, overall just around 8.5 inches. Handle thickness is just about 0.52 inches, and it does weigh in at 4.7 ounces. So when talking with Liong Mah at the show and also just checking with his website before doing the video, a couple things stood out from both the discussion on the website. Is one, his intent for this design was to try and diminish the gap between production and custom knives, as well as trying to make this one as lightweight as possible. So you guys may have seen the Warrior 1. It was a smaller version of this knife, different blade shape, not quite as long and so forth. I didn't own the Warrior 1, but the Warrior 2 I simply couldn't pass up. So a couple key things that I really like while we're talking about the overall impressions. One is this hand ground blade. Really well done. I don't know who David has working for him over there, but they are exceptional. Other thing was the action. Just flawless right out of the, not box, but baggy pouch or whatever you want to call it. Knife pouch. So action is exceptional, and hand ground blade are my two favorite features of this knife. So that's pretty good for my overall impressions. It's a winner. No qualms, there's really nothing to address in a negative light. Everything is just really well dialed in on this knife. So quite happy with it. I've actually been carrying it a lot. Used it for EDC, used it for lunch yesterday. It's gotten a fair bit of use before this video. So, all right, let's get into the details then. And we're gonna start off with, of course, this amazing hand ground blade here. So, S35VN, as is most of the actually all of the Riot Liong Mah collaborations. But this one has been given a hollow grind here for the secondary bevel. You've got a flat grind for the tip and a flat grind for the swedge up top. So it's a modified tanto. I love these types of tantos because the tip is reinforced, so I don't feel bad using it. I had a custom tanto at least a year ago, maybe longer, and the tip came to such a fine edge that I actually broke off like an 1/8 of an inch. It was hard to tell that it had broken off, but it was something that drove me nuts. So, these modified tantos with the reinforced tips are absolutely fantastic for use, and aesthetically, of course, it's gorgeous here. So, a lot of reflection coming off of this satin ground blade. We have of course, the vertical striations for the secondary bevel here. Kind of diagonal striations here, and vertical again up top with the flats having a horizontal satin. So a lot going on the blade shape here, depending on how the light hits it, but it is absolutely beautiful. The symmetry is exceptional. I have handled custom knives from very well-known and well-regarded makers that were not ground as well as this particular one. So yeah, the symmetry is perfect, and I know I won't be able to convey it here underneath the camera, but if you have the chance to handle one of these in person, really take a magnifying glass to this hand ground blade and just see how well it is done. Very impressive. The jimping up top carries the same diagonal type of jimping like the Tempest did. It's extremely functional, locks the thumb in without being sharp, and visually it's certainly more appealing than your standard just kind of up and down jimping. So really well done. Flipper tab has some jimping as well. As you can see, it carries into the design, which makes it easy to access. Kind of a telltale Liong Mah design feature when the flipper tab transitions into the handle like that. But yeah, just incredible action. Really takes very little effort to get it to just fly open. So whether you flip it light, there we go. Yeah, I mean, if you put no pressure, it may not open, but any mild or hard, it just flies open. So really well done. The stop pins are integrated. Again, I think we first saw that on the Riot Hills potentially, but obviously it makes for a more attractive knife. Essentially, you don't have a stop pin. You know, you don't see the screws or anything for a stop pin back here. So yeah. All right, come to the handle. Now, according to Liong, the handles they were hand sanded to remove all the mill marks, and they are contoured. So as you guys can see, nicely contoured handle here, and then you have kind of a large flat chamfer along the top of the handle, which transitions into the blade. Of course, another kind of telltale feature of the Liong Mah design and aesthetics. So great flow. I'm still trying to decide if I want to do something with this handle. I know I say that with a lot of my knives, but you know, it's hard to let them go for a week or two to get, you know, colored up. So yeah. All right, you do have a kind of a pivot collar here, given an orange peel finish. So just another nice detail. Stainless steel lock insert, of course. Lockup is fairly early, probably about 30%. Centering, perfect. And look at the symmetry on that tip, guys. For hand ground, that's really impressive. And there's the nice cutouts in here, chamfers in here to make disengagement easy. So all pretty standard stuff for the Liong Mah designs and the Riot builds. Pocket clip has been actually changed a little bit and improved. Everything's been nicely rounded, no sharp edges. Still carries kind of a knife aesthetic to it. Matches the blade shape to an extent. Unnecessary, but nice nonetheless. You know, why not? So, back spacer, partially enclosed kind of a gear spacer, and then they included a lanyard hole at the very back if you are a lanyard type of guy or girl. Don't want to discriminate. So yeah. Satin hardware. Pocket clip works beautifully. It's 3D machined, of course. So yeah, really good stuff. Really good stuff. And then one of the key features that when I was talking to Liong Mah Blade Show is he wanted to get this one as light as possible. So you have some very aggressive milling here on the inside of the handles. Let me try from the back here. Even on the lock bar side, some really aggressive milling. So, you know, 4.7 ounces. It honestly feels a little bit lighter than that, while still keeping the balance point right at the finger choil here, which is exactly what you want. So yeah. All right. Smoothness. Really smooth. You can't feel any friction when it opens or closes. So you know, you don't feel it closing while holding the handle at all. And then of course the long, kind of sleek, slender, almost Quaken style to it makes it really easy to carry. So yeah, all around home run. I think this is my favorite Liong Mah design to date. Again, just that blade alone is absolutely worth checking out. So as far as bridging the gap between production and custom, I think they've done something really nice with this particular model. And you know, the competition keeps getting more and more aggressive out there with you know, these different production companies really trying to push the envelope in terms of materials and features and, I mean, designs. You know, bearings are par for the course these days, whereas a couple of years ago it was like, oh wow, that's got bearings. So again, good thing for collectors to see them put this much time and effort into these builds, and the prices essentially have remained the same as his previous models. So I definitely wanted to check out. Everyone who handled this one really liked it at Blade Show. The other guys who I've seen get this one really like this model as well. So you can find it at, I believe some of the online dealers have it, or just go directly to Liong Mah's website. I'll put a link to his Instagram and his website in the description box below if you guys are having trouble locating it at all. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Appreciate your support. Appreciate you clicking the like button. Podcast is going strong on the Modern Neanderthal podcast. So anyways, until the next video, take care.